It's Anthony Huff here with the class Sociology of Sport, and I would like to give my breakdown of the movie Forever in the Moment and the movie Dangle. Uh, I'll first start with Forever in a Moment, which I did enjoy. It was a really good movie. It had a nice little build up to it. I takeaways from it where it was interesting. I like the way it started with the story from how all the females were with their original coach. I don't remember his name, but how they all were playing together. They were enjoying playing together. Then the teams got banned, and when they got banned, some were offered to go play Olympics, but some didn't have the opportunity to go to Olympics, so they all had to go work regular jobs and find a way to feed their family. And Mi Song, she tried that. She tried to work in the market, and she didn't enjoy it at all. And her husband was in a lot of debt, so she knew that working for this job was not going to cover up his debt and help her family take care of her family. Well, she had a son which named Do Young. I don't know how to say it. He was a cool little dude. I like Do Young. He was dope, but he was a little soccer player and everything. But I just wondered how she was going to be able to take care of herself. That was my whole thing. Was she going to go back to the Olympics? Was she going to just keep this job? But she ended up, getting persuaded by Coach Kim to take her talents back to the Olympics. But she had to take some cash up front from Coach Kim because she didn't have the means to take care of her family. She left the market job, and her husband left and was missing for a minute and for forever. And she didn't find out about him until later on in the movie when he was in the hospital. So it was just a sad little situation. But I just wish they kind of would have told us why the team got banned. I mean, we want to know that that's kind of an integral part to the story. But all in all, the Forever in the Moment was a really good movie. I enjoyed watching the handball. It was very competitive, and it was some rules, passive play I didn't know about, and it was a dope movie. And so I'll just give you some of my questions from it. Uh, I want to know how popular is the sport of handball in America, in the United States, because I didn't know about it at all until watching the movies. And also, if it is a sport in America, how many leagues do they have? Also, as I watched the film, the owners of the Olympic team, said that Peel Song was one of the best male handball players. So if there's a male aspect to handball, are the rules different, and do they play different? Like, is you allowed to be more physical, or are you allowed to do certain things differently than the female sport? Also, how much time has to come off before they call pass the play? Um, I noticed at the end of the game they were almost the Denmark team was running like like a little give and go. They was keep getting to run the clock down because they only had a little bit more time left till they won the game. So I just want to know how much time has to go by before they call pass the play. And also, where did the sport of handball come from? Was it created in Korea or was it created in Denmark? Like, I would have to do my own personal research, but that's just a question that came about while I was watching the movie. Also, how many countries participated in the handball Olympics that year and years after before that? Are there 10 teams in the Olympics? Are there 4 teams? Are there 5 teams? That's just another question that came about. And also, how how competitive is it? Like, are their games very competitive? Like, I want to know how serious is handball taken? Like, is it the sport in Korea? Is it the sport in Denmark? Like, what is the main sport in handball? Like, what makes people believe in and more invested in handball? I know that didn't kind of make sense, but y'all kind of get what I'm saying. But all in all, I enjoyed Forever in the Moment. It had a great ending. Even with Coach Peel's song, he didn't believe in his players at first, and then they ran the trail, and then Coach Kim still lost, but they still ended up all coming together because I feel like that's with any coach. Like, in order to be a successful team, your coach has to believe his players. He has to know his players. Even most coaches try not to get into their players' personal life, but you have to somewhat get into your player's personal life and to completely get the best out of that player. But I one thing with the gender thing, Coach Kim lost her job to Coach Pilson because she had some divorce thing going on. So she was dealing with a divorce at that time. So they fired her because they didn't think she was handling the team perfectly well because the team had a fight that day in practice while they was watching. So they didn't think she was handling the team right, which is neither here nor there. But I mean, it was a predominantly female team, so they thought that her being a female coach, she could take on a team better than a male could. But I guess they didn't. That plan failed, and they didn't believe in her no more. So I mean, it's interesting to think that they didn't believe a female could continue coaching a team when she was just it was just getting started. They didn't even get she didn't even really get her foot in the door. But it is what it is. But I enjoyed Forever in a Moment. It was a good movie. It had me on my toes, waiting what was next and how this is going to happen. And they had some funny characters. So Forever in a Moment was a real good movie. Now to talk about Dangle. I enjoyed it, but I didn't really enjoy it as much as I did Forever in 21. I mean, not Forever 21, Forever in the Moment. It was a good movie. I'm not real big on parents persuading their kids to play in sports that they don't necessarily want to participate in. That's just my opinion. But my Javier, he was real, driven to get his kids to I don't know how to say that, Labita and Lita, Jita, and Babita to get into wrestling, but because he didn't make it, I guess because his dream fell short. He thought that like, dang, I got to invest in something because I can't invest in myself anymore. But it was a decent movie. I just think that they could have did some things better, but that's my opinion. But to go with some of the questions I had for Dangle, why did Mahavir try to turn his daughters try to train his daughters to try to obtain something that he could never reach? I just feel like that's something that you shouldn't do. Like if you, I mean, you should push them, but not push them to the point where they don't even enjoy it anymore. And also, uh, is there any sport in the world today that women, just women play? Like I would have to do my research on that myself too. But I'm wondering, is there any sport in the world that just women are playing? Like I'm kind of curious about that. Also, do the referees ref the female wrestling matches different than they ref male versus male match? I feel like they would because I mean they know there's different physical advantages. But I mean, even with the female training to be just as strong as a male, there's still going to be some advantages with the male doing the same exact training. So I just think I wonder would a ref that match differently. And also, how could Mahavir made his daughters enjoy wrestling more at a younger age? Like, what approach do he do y'all think he could what approach could he have changed to to make his daughters enjoy wrestling a little bit more? Like, could he have done different hands-on activities to make them enjoy it a little bit more? And if a female were my last question, if a female were to get hurt in this predominantly male sport, how would the owners of the league change their view of letting females participate in this sport? Like if a male broke a female's bone in this sport or hurt her really bad, what would be their next approach to this? Like I would be curious, and would they change the rules to the sport, or what would they do differently? So I mean, all in all, I enjoyed Dangled. I know y'all probably saw it in the background. I enjoyed it though. It was a good movie, but it still ain't got nothing on Forever in the Moment. Yeah, it was. I like the little handball game, but that's pretty much my takeaway and my questions for it. So appreciate it.